Murder at the Banquet. It is a student-led show, led by me and Tyler Miller.
Yep, this is my first companion, Carlos Bauer. Yep. It is a miracle in itself that we were able to do another play this year. Normally we only have the 3, but we got the great opportunity to do a student-led and directed play. Woo!
45 minutes long, and just a couple last words. I want to give a thank you to Abby Jasper for helping look over the show, making sure we're not, in danger or anything like that.
Woo!
Our
amazing technical director.
tech director.
Two more, Casey Holden, the wonderful man at the donations booth. The families, friends, and everybody that has relationships with the wonderful cast and crew.
Which is you guys. And enjoy the show.
Yep, there's one more word. No videotaping, no photography. If I see somebody's flashlights go off because they're taking pictures, I'm going to be upset with you, okay? All right.
Got legal no, so let's get it.
Let's go.
Good evening. My name is Captain Wimberly. As the president of the International Association of Mystery Solvers, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this, our first annual Mystery Solvers Hall of Fame induction banquet. As you know, tonight we will announce which of our finalists will be our first Hall of Fame inductee. The winner will receive a bronze bust and a plaque will be placed in our Hall of Fame. The nominee will also receive $250,000 in gold Krugerrands. I would also like to note that this is a special night for me as well. After my many years of service, I am stepping down as the president of the IAMS to enjoy a long-awaited retirement. Your current vice president will introduce your finalists. She has headed up the rewriting of our Constitution, and some of the changes she has sponsored is the 2-term limit of presidents, which explains why I am retiring. Ms. Pindu, if you'll please introduce our finalists.
Thank you so much, Captain. I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say I'm sorry, Bernard, that you won't be joining us next year. Before tonight's award is presented, I will introduce the finalists and have each of them say a few words. Our first finalist is Mrs. Agatha Pregnus, who has solved over 700 murders in her lengthy career. Her most famous cases include the murders on the Eastern Express in Istanbul and the Tamil Aborigines murders in Australia. She is considered one of Great Britain's most famous living detectives and just celebrated her 98th birthday last week. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Agatha Pregnus. Mrs. Agatha Preakness. Mrs. Preakness, you're supposed to give a speech.
A peach? No, thank you. Be just stuffy.
Mrs. Preakness, you're supposed to give a speech to the audience.
Oh, certainly, dear. But I can't do it while you're standing there in my way like that. Be a good girl and go give me some guacamole. My dear colleagues, after 7 decades of solving various murders all the way from Austria to Zimbabwe, I never thought a day as auspicious as this would arrive. I am reminded of the words of my great-aunt Winifred.
Our next finalist
Here.
next finalist has...
Gracious. My goodness, can't even procure a simple bowl of guacamole.
I will get you your guacamole in a minute, but right now I have to introduce the next finalist.
And a few crackers off to the side, if you don't mind.
Certainly you couldn't forget the crackers. Our next finalist has been working out of San Francisco for the last 50 years. He achieved prominence by solving the case of the Maltese pigeon in 1948 and is accompanied by his secretary, Miss Wanda Winters. Now that Mr. Diamond has officially retired, Miss Winters will help him prepare his memoirs of over 5 decades as a private detective. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Diamond.
Thank you all. I've been a private eye for longer than most of you guys have been alive. And let me tell you, things aren't the same as they used to be. Back in my day, if you wanted to get information from a schoolie, you'd just hang him on a coat rack and threaten to fill him full of hot lead if he didn't squeal. Now you've got to obey laws and stuff. Why, you can't even smoke anymore. I've been smoking for 50 years and it never hurt me. Never hurt me any.
Thank you, Mr. Diamond.
Get your paws off me. I'm not finished yet. I just want to thank Wanda for all the help she's been to me these last few years. I don't remember things too good no more. But Wanda, she's got a mind like what do you call it?
Oh, a steel trap, Mr. Diamond?
Yes, that's it. Thank you, Wanda. And one more thing. I want to encourage all of you to contribute to the Mystery Solvers Retirement Fund. This old detective don't mind telling you he ain't got much of nest egg built up. Guys like me, we need your help.
Our final
Dear, I'm still waiting on the guacamole.
Please give Mrs. Treatment some guacamole. Thank you. Now then, our final nominee is the late Sherlock Holmes, known worldwide for his incomparable skills of observation and induction. His most famous case is the Hounds of Baskervilles. Tonight, representing the family of Sherlock Holmes is his great-great-grandnephew, Foster Holmes.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here representing my great-great-grandmother in the company of so many prestigious detectives. As Sherlock always said,
Up with Watson, down with Holmes! Up with Watson, down with Holmes! What's the meaning of this?
How dare you interrupt our dinner?
young lady, I won't. Not hungry, master.
Chief Stanton, is this that Watson girl that's been stirring up trouble all week? My name is Jennifer Watson, proud descendant of a long line of Watsons. Sherlock Holmes was a fraud.
Hey!
My great-great-granduncle, Dr. Henry Watson, solved each and every one of Holmes's cases.
That is preposterous. Holmes was a genius. Watson just recorded the events.
My great-great-granduncle was too modest to admit what a great sleuth he was. He allowed his friend Sherlock to take all the credit, just like this self-aggrandizing lunkhead is doing tonight.
Hey, watch who you're calling, whatever it is you just called me. Keep mounting off to everyone like that. I'ma haul you off to county jail.
Why, yes, some jelly would be lovely.
Great injustice is about to be committed here. I cannot stand idle and allow such a perversion of justice to take place. Up with Watson, down with Holmes. Up with Watson.
I've heard enough of this class. Lady, it was Sherlock Holmes and his faithful sidekick, Dr. Watson. Sidekick. Sidekick. Like the Lone Ranger and Tonto, Batman and Robin.
Howdy Doody and Buffalo Bob.
Are you calling my great-great-granduncle a dummy?
If the strings fit, wear them. Everyone, please be quiet. Miss Watson, I assure you, we'll give ample consideration to your claims. But can't we at least continue our ceremonies? Do you promise that they are hearing on the matter? Yes. Now please, have a seat and let us go on. Listen, folks. Perhaps it would be best if we moved on, if that's all right with you.
Of course, I wouldn't want to disrupt the proceedings as others have.
I would now like to invite Chief Harley Stanton to say a few words. Chief Stanton?
Well, howdy. I'm happier than a tick on the bulldog to be here tonight. Being the chief of police police in a town like this, I haven't had the chance to solve as many cases as our nominees. But if I could toot my own horn for a little bit, I'd like to tell you about the time old Farley Dunbar's prize coon dog went missing. And let me tell you, they was lawmen hunted from 3 states looking for that hound. They hunted up one side of his house down to the other. And I figured the best way to catch a coon dog was to think like a coon dog.
I'm very super task for you.
Excuse me?
I'm just asking for a basket of fruit, dear.
Well, anyways, to make a long story short, yours truly found the dog. She just got lost in one of these old houses around here. They all have secret passageways for smuggling and whatnot. Anyways, I was talking to the chief of police in the other town.
Look, the fat man, he's got to be what?
I can tell when my time is about up. So, at this time, I would like to take the time to reintroduce to you the president of the IAMS, Captain Wimberly, to come here present this here award. President Wimberly, come on down.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present this award and these gold coins to the family of Sherlock Holmes.
Hold on, everybody. Stay where you are. Does anybody have a flashlight?
No, I left it in my other jacket.
I'll go get it.
Did anyone think to try the light switch?
I think the light switch is right over here.
That's my nose, you imbecile. Where's the light switch?
Are you all right?
Gee, she seems fine, other than the knife sticking out of her back.
She's dead.
I'm not one to stick my nose where it don't belong. But shouldn't somebody maybe call the cops?
Well, boss, that's an excellent idea.
No, it isn't. This is my town and my jurisdiction, and we will handle this my way. Miss Pender, why don't you go call the police?
And obviously has a gift for leadership.
With all due respect, Chief Stanton, but while we are waiting, isn't it possible? Oh dear me, I do ramble on so. But isn't it possible that the murderer is making his escape?
Stay where you are. Who's missing?
Well, other than Miss Pindu, everyone is exactly where they were when the lights went out. Except for Captain Wimberly. Oh, by the way, wasn't the captain holding a bag full of coins?
I'm sure they dropped them. Perhaps when we find the murderer, we'll find where the coins are.
Well, what makes you so sure it was a murder?
Stabbing oneself in the back is not a common method of suicide.
What is it, girl?
The phones are dead.
Well, I'm sure it's just the storm.
I don't think so.
Why not, sweetheart?
Because the phone was ripped out of the wall.
Well, not to worry. When I don't check in tomorrow, my deputies will come down here and check things out.
When will that be?
Well, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Great! So we're trapped in here with a murderer until then.
Not necessarily. He could simply leave.
No such thing. No one is leaving here until this case is solved.
Then perhaps we should turn our attention to finding the murderer before the murderer turns his attention to us.
Well, if you had my guess, it'd be that hot-headed young vixen over there. She had a bone to pick with Wimberly. Holmes get the award and push through over the edge.
Good thinking, Chief. It was real clever of me to stab her while standing over there. You might consider one of the finalists, and we were a bit closer. Especially Mr. Holmes.
What motive did I have? I was getting the money anyways, and why would I kill Wimberly? Well, chum, you might not have had a motive, but you definitely had the best opportunity. You were right next to Captain Wimberly when the lights went out. So was Claudette Pindu, and everyone knows that she and the captain did not get along.
Captain Wimberly was like a mother to me. I would have never killed her.
Not even for a sack full of gold.
If anyone needed the money, it was Mr. Dynamite. He told everyone he's bankrupt.
Each and every one of us is a potential suspect. We should not start placing blame until we have more facts.
Well, one way or another, nobody is leaving here until this murder is solved. No way am I going to let a potential murderer waltz out that door.
Well, the
stolen, a woman was killed. I'm stuck in here with a hick sheriff, a bunch of old detectives, and a woman who spends her life maligning my ancestry. How much brighter can it get?
No, seriously, with all your great detectives, especially Jack, this case should be a snap to solve.
I wouldn't be too sure of that. Mrs. Freakness was right when she said that we're all potential suspects. But if one of us is a murderer, he or she is going to be tough to catch. Nobody in the world knows more about killing someone than a detective. And if one of us is a murderer, the rest of us could be victims.
I've got an amulet up to my
Hold
case.
on, everybody. Just calm down. I'm gonna go see if I can't fix that phone. Now, don't nobody go nowhere. And don't touch anything.
I must have come this afternoon. Poor Captain Blue is dead.
Excuse me, young lady, but if you're going to the kitchen, I should like very much to go with you. I feel I must give my compliments to the chef. His order was simply sweet.
Well, Toots, looks like we have nothing better to do than cool our heels with a dead gal.
She was. Do you think she's really dead?
Let me put it this way. The next time she has to go to a shoe store, they'll have to take the toe tag off first. Yeah, she is really dead. But don't worry. Old Jack will take good care of you.
Thanks, boss. That really means a lot.
Wow, you must be really good at...
At what? I'd be really good at what?
I was gonna say you make a really good sidekick.
A what? Sidekick?
Yup.
I'll show you sidekick, Buster. That wasn't ever been a sidekick. You're even dumber than that great-great-granduncle of yours.
Oh yeah? If Sherlock was so dumb, how dumb did your great-granduncle have to be? He was only a sidekick. Hey, you guys. Come take a look at this.
I see what you mean. That is unusual.
I agree. Very unusual. What is?
Come on, Buster, isn't it obvious? The angle of the blade?
Right, the angle of the blade. Exactly. What is it about the angle of the blade I'm supposed to notice?
Like a true sidekick.
Hey, said you here, Mr. Holmes. Normally, when someone is trapped, stand here. The blade sort of goes down like this. You see?
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Diamond, but I must disagree. Most murderers don't use the Sicilian grip anymore. Particularly if the blow came from the left side. If the murderer was left-handed, can I borrow your paper?
Sure.
See, from this angle, the murderer would have used a Bangladesh side hand movement, which would have driven the blade up this way.
But this blade doesn't really fit that either.
You're right. I've never seen a wound like it.
Yes?
Am I interrupting something?
No.
I was just thinking of the chef. He had a very good idea for taking care of the body. No, the chef suggests we freeze it for later.
That's worse!
What I mean is, we should freeze the body where it'll be safe until it can be examined.
Oh.
That's a good idea, Miss Mindy.
Not so fast, Miss Smarty Pants. Putting the body in the freezer might destroy valuable evidence.
So could leaving the body out here.
The police haven't even been here yet.
I really think this is the best course of action.
Who put you in charge?
As for your
Well,
opinion.
you guys do what you want with the body. We're gonna go check out the basement. I thought of something. Fine, Jack. See you later.
Oh, boss, you're so detective-y.
You are so pigheaded.
You are so obnoxious.
You are a moron.
You are an imbecile.
Hey, boss, it's really dark down here. Can you turn on a light?
The lights are already on. It's really dark. You are an idiot.
You are a buffoon.
You are a complete... You.
Still the body to deal with.
Jenny's right. We need to move the body somewhere safer.
Well, why don't we just put it in the freezer?
Yes. Yes, that's just what we were saying. Foster, why don't you and the chief move the body into the kitchen?
Come with me, boy.
Miss Pindu, I couldn't help but realize that you and Captain Murray seemed a bit at odds.
Yes, it's true we had been fighting. But I didn't kill her, I didn't.
What were you fighting about?
are you questioning me? I've already maintained my innocence.
Miss Pindu, I cannot but feel as though you're hiding something.
Perhaps by blaming me, you hope to throw the suspicion on yourself.
Miss Pindu, are you willing to write down the fact that you're innocent? Write it down. Yes. Write down, I am innocent, and then sign it.
I believe this is preposterous, but if you'll help me maintain my innocence.
What is the problem?
I'm very nervous, and when I'm nervous, I become ambidextrous. Thank you, Miss Pindu. Very helpful.
Floretta here, would you give me a glass of ice water?
Of course, Mrs. Preakness, I'll be right back.
Gracious, what an evening. But at least the kitchen was a pleasant surprise. Absolutely gorgeous. The chef has everything arranged so perfectly. The flavors stacked, the glasses
I'm sure that's very interesting, Mrs. Preakness, but this is more important. I think Claudette Pindu was involved in the murder. If she stabbed her, she could have used either hand. She's ambidextrous. And that might explain the unusual angle of the blade.
Yes, dear, that's very interesting. But the cutlery was...
Here's your water, Mrs. Preakness.
Oh, thank you. What is that gosh? My throat is sore.
It's too Stanton going.
Oh, we heard some noise down in the basement and went to check it out.
It's probably Jack and Wanda. They've been down there a while. Hope everything's okay.
If it is, it'll be the first time tonight. What are you talking to Preakness about?
It doesn't matter. She won't remember anything anyway. So sad, Foster. She was my idol growing up. Well, her and Dr. Watson, of course. But now she can't seem to focus. She's always babbling on about something meaningless or sending Miss Pindu on some errand.
Speaking of Miss Pindu, she seems rather nice, don't you think?
Now listen here, Foster. You stay away from her. I think she's dangerous.
I appreciate your concern for my well-being.
It's always sarcasm with you, isn't it?
No, I mean it. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you're looking out.
Thanks, Foster.
Found these folks looking around downstairs. Did not tell you all to stay put.
Yeah, whatever. Hey guys, come check this out. What is it?
Elementary, my dear Holmes. This device temporarily bypasses the circuit and breaks it, and then automatically resets it. The resulting blackout looks like a normal occurrence.
Well, boss, that's just what you said.
Well, hold on, Mr. Picknuckle, a minute. You're telling me somebody planted this device?
Yes.
Somebody turned off the lights on purpose?
Yes.
But they did all of this just so they could kill Captain Wimberly?
Yes.
No!
And I was saying before, when I was in the kitchen, I noticed how tidy the staff has kept the kitchen.
Mrs. Preakness, with all due respect, we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Archie, you're up.
Thank you, dear. Now I noticed that each bit of silverware has a designated spot. Every fork, every spoon, and every knife. Every knife with a little spot with a distinctive pattern on its handle. Every knife, that is, except one small heavy knife. Now, if we remove the knife from the poor Captain Wimberly's body, I'm quite sure that we will find the missing carrot knife.
Well, that sure makes sense, Mrs. Preakness. We know she was stabbed. It would sure make sense that the killer would use a knife that was already around here.
Maybe we should get the kitchen staff in here. We could grill them, break them over the coals, see who spills the beans. Get it? The kitchen staff, grilled beans.
Anyone could have taken the knife from the kitchen. It's even possible that I gave the murderer the opportunity when I interrupted the banquet.
So you did.
According to how all are missing is this. A paring knife has a large handle, but it has a relatively small blade. The only way such a small knife can cause death so quickly would be to sever a major artery. Now I noticed with that when the captain's body was transferred to the kitchen, there was only a small amount of blood removed. Given these facts, I must conclude that she was not stabbed to death. In fact, I'm quite sure that she was poisoned.
Poison!
people dead and a murderer still on the loose.
Well, boss, I'm scared. I mean, who's gonna be next, you know?
Don't worry, Wanda. I'll find the guy responsible.
What makes you so sure it was a guy, Adam? After all, I'm not sure about Miss Watson over there. She spent a lot of time with Preakness. She could have poisoned her. Could have put it in the water. She was drinking that right before she died.
Don't be ridiculous. Miss Watson didn't give her the water, I did. I didn't kill her.
Then who put the poison in the ice water?
Anyone could have put the poison in the water. We were all so busy arguing about the knife that none of us would have noticed. Well, we don't even know that the water was poisoned. She could have been poisoned at dinner. We all might have been.
All of a sudden, I don't feel so well.
Wanda! Is it poison?
No, I'm just really, really scared.
Let's just calm down. We have to decide on our next logical course of action.
You're right, Foster. And the next logical step is to split up and look for clues.
Split up? Lady, this ain't no Scooby-Doo. What is splitting up gonna do? Unless you want to knock us off one by one.
Stanton, I don't want to get close enough to you to kill you. It's simple. While we wait, the evidence we need may be deteriorating. Besides, safety in numbers doesn't seem to help much. Both murders happened when we were all together. Maybe the murderer likes to operate in front of a crowd. Our best bet is to flush him or her out.
Now,
If one of us discovers a clue, the murderer may be kept unaware until it's too late. Also, we still have the award money fund. Chances are the murderer hid it somewhere around here.
Well, I, for one, think splitting up's a good idea. Wanda and I will head back to the basement to look for more clues.
Sorry, Jack, I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh yeah, pretty boy? Why not? We can't afford to trust anybody right now. Chances are, if one of you is the killer, the other might be involved. I don't think we can let the two of you get off by yourselves.
the boss wouldn't tell him why. Unless he really deserved it.
Everyone's a suspect. I'll go down to the basement. And I think Miss Pindu should come with me.
Thank you, but no thank you. I'd like to go with Foster. He can protect me if there's any danger.
I guess we will go to the kitchen.
Then I will go to the basement with Miss Watson.
Oh, no, you don't, Hillbilly boy. I'm going to the basement, too. Wanda will stay here so you guys don't think I'm running off.
I'll keep an eye on Wanda. I have a few things I want to check out around here. So let's all meet back here in about 15 minutes.
Gee, I didn't know that Miss Pindu and Mr. Holmes were a couple.
Neither did I. I wonder if... No, Foster wouldn't kill anyone, would he?
Is that one of those rhetorical thingies, or was I supposed to answer?
Never mind. Listen, I need to check out a few things around here. Can you take notes?
I'm sorry, I don't take dictation.
You don't? Well, you're a secretary. Why would he hire you if... Oh, never mind. If you could just listen, it helps me to think if I'm talking over.
No problem.
Okay, scene looks normal. No signs of poison needles. Food looked good. No signs of discoloration. Iced tea with ice melted. I wish I had paid more attention to where people were and what they were doing and eating and drinking.
Well, let's see. Chief Stanton introduced Captain Wimberly, patted her on the back, then sat down right here. He had the regular entree with nice tea, no sugar. He put blue cheese dressing on his salad. Mrs. Pindu sat right here. She had a plain salad with her tea, no ice. Captain Wimberly was standing right here, except after the lights went out, she was more like... She had a regular entree with her tea, with her iced tea with sugar. Her salad had Thousand Islands. Mrs. Preakness sat right here. She had the regular entree with her tea, which had artificial sweetener. Her salad had oil and vinegar. Oh, she also had that bowl of guacamole. Then the boss sat right here. He had the regular entree, but he didn't eat it because he says it gives him indigestion. He had an iced tea, and he put sugar in it. The boss never eats salad. Then I sat right here, and I just had a salad fat-free dressing because I'm watching my figure. I had water to drink.
Then Mr. Holmes sat right here. He had the regular entree. He put ranch dressing on salad. His tea had artificial sweetener and sugar. That is incredible. He didn't just hire me for my looks, sister. Come on up. I think we need to check out something in the basement.
Well, we didn't find any new clues in the kitchen.
Where is everybody?
I haven't a clue. But to be honest, Foster, I'm glad we are alone.
So like the dead sandwich. Like there's something about it. Doesn't it? Like,
I want you to know how much I admire you, Foster. You're so smart and so handsome. You're the only one I can trust.
brand new. That's a French name, isn't it?
Excusez-moi?
Your name is French, isn't it?
Oui, but so what? Honestly, Foster, you make me so mad I could.
Kill me? What are you doing?
Everyone, you're back. Great.
I have an announcement to make. The murderer is Claudette Tendu.
That's me. How did you discover this?
Elementary review, Watson. Her last name, Tendu, is French. In fact, it's an anagram for Duke. Her first name is Claudette. You remove the first initial, and you are left with C. Claudette. Therefore, her first initial is C. The remainder of her name refers to someone you might laud or praise, someone you might consider august. Therefore, her last name is in reality Dupin. Therefore, it is obvious who she is and why she killed Captain Wimberly and Miss Preakness. Well, between you and me, Foster, I don't think anyone has any idea what you're talking about.
Allow me, Mr. Diamond. Foster is suggesting that Claudette Hindu is the great-great-granddaughter of C. Auguste Dupin, the famous French detective whose exploits were recorded by Edgar Allan Poe. Foster would then have us believe that she killed her ancestor as an act of revenge for her not being one of the finest. Was that right, Foster?
Well, I guess. Actually, I figured she killed them both because she's French, and they were British, and everyone knows that French people hate British people.
Boy, if stupid was eggs, you'd have omelets every day, wouldn't you?
Well, at least know who the murderer is, right?
Not quite. Well, she might have had the chance to poison Preakness, and she might have had the chance to poison Wimberly as well. There's one thing she couldn't have done.
Ow, what was that?
Remember when the lights went out and she was stumbling over everybody? And then later, when she refused to go down to the basement, which was really dark, which made me think maybe she can't see so well in the dark. That trick just clinched it. Well, I guess she couldn't have killed Wimberly then either. It was too dark when that happened.
Actually, Foster, she could have. Wimberly was killed while the lights were still on. But don't worry, Claudette. I don't think you're the murderer. You're not bright enough. However, the discovery that we made in the basement shows how exactly the murder was committed and how the murderer expected to get away with it.
This ought to be interesting.
While we were down in the basement, we looked out at the garbage cans. There's a garbage chute in the kitchen that drops directly below. Inside one of the cans, we found traces of Kosover melon. What is this Kosover melon? It's a rare tropical plant whose fruit is extremely toxic. When I realized that Kosover melon was involved, the murder all made sense. We had all assumed that Wimberly had been stabbed, until Mrs. Preakness declared that she had been poisoned. The Kosover melon was the perfect choice. It begins by numbing the nerves of the thorax. Eventually, the victim experiences total cardiovascular arrest.
I get it. The murderer waited until her nerves were sufficiently numb, then stabbed her. She never even felt it. Then, when the poison took full effect, Wimberly collapsed.
Elementary, my dear Bones. That's why Mrs. Preakness's observation about the knife is so important. The knife had to be small enough that it wouldn't kill Captain Wimberly instantly, but the handle had to be large enough that we would all assume she had been stabbed to death. When the killer realized that the poison was about to finish Wimberly off, he triggered the lights by remote control. But where was the poison? Kosover melon can be frozen. When frozen, it becomes non-poison. However, if allowed to melt, say, in Captain Wimberly's teeth, it becomes lethal again. Interestingly, once absorbed by the body, freezing it renders it undetectable. By freezing the bodies, we never would have known what the poison was. If Jack and I hadn't found traces
Passover melon in the garbage.
Well, hold on there, Missy. I was with you in the basement. I know you didn't find any Kosovo peels in the trash.
You're absolutely right, Chief. There were no peels. But I never said anything about peels. I just said traces. The paper towels the killer used to wipe his hands were soaked in the juice. The only way that you would know about the peels is if you peeled the fruit yourself with the paring knife and then put the peels down the disposal when you poisoned the tray of ice. The same tray that you used to poison both victims.
What are you talking about?
The jig is up, Chief. After Wanda went over the details of dinner with me, the murder all made sense. The reason the angle of the blade was so unusual is because you stabbed her when you patted her on the back. You knew by then she wouldn't even feel it, and you almost got away with it.
And I'll still get away with this. You're now pinning this on me. Now, well, I can still do this.
Sorry, Karen.
Good work, you guys.
I would have gotten away with it if we weren't for you meddling kids.
Why'd you do it?
You stupid or what? I did it for the money. There's no money in being a detective in a business like this. I had my retirement all planned out too. Now it's all ruined.
Come take this floor shelf away.
No! You're doing to me! No! I was no! Get your hands off me! You
I guess that about wraps it up. Obviously, Santa was thrown out of the wall in advance, right after he poisoned the tray of ice. Later, he saw Mrs. Creekman snooping around in the kitchen. When she realized that the knife couldn't be the murder weapon, he poisoned her too. I'm betting that he distracted Claudette Pindu and dropped some of the poisoned ice in Mrs. Creekman's glass. He was probably guessing we'd assume she died of natural causes.
Well, I guess that does wrap it all up. Wait a second, where's the money?
Huh, forgot about that.
Well, I'm sure we'll find it around here somewhere. I'm sure he hid it somewhere. Who knows? Anyways, I was going to donate it all to the Mystery Solvers Retirement Fund.
Do you think anyone will ever find that money?
My memory must be getting worse. I found this in the trash when no one was looking. I'm guessing Stanton threw it down the garbage chute when he went back to the kitchen with the broken phone. He probably intended to retrieve the gold when he went down to the basement to get the gadget that turned off the lights. I'll just donate it to the Mystery Solvers Retirement Fund, like you said.
But, boss, aren't you the only retired mystery solver?
Now that you say it, Wanda, I suppose I am.
Well, Foster, I've got to admit, donating all that money, it's pretty generous.
Well, my family's accumulated a large fortune over the years. I don't really need it.
Of course, that money by all rights belongs to my family.
Oh, don't start that again, Jenny. Sidekicks get maybe 20%. That's a figure you should get used to if you're going to work as my sidekick.
Your sidekick?
Absolutely.
Your sidekick.
Correct.
If anything, you should pay me to be my sidekick.
No.
We'll figure out the poison. I will.
Gee, boss, I thought they might actually get together in the end.
I still think they will, Toots. Like someone once said, the problem of two little people don't amount to a hill of beans in a crazy, mixed-up world like this. I think this could be the start of a beautiful relationship.